Come on now, bro. All these pound-for-pound fighters are too scared to fight me. They need 200 million to do it.
You got 200 million for you.
I'm fighting Jake Paul.
Pussy.
Talk about it. You fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it seriously. You know, that goes to show, you know, how serious he's taking me and how.
Terence Crawford has completely flipped his stance on Jake Paul's place in boxing. With talks hinting he could replace Tank Davis, Crawford now admits he'd take the fight if the deal makes sense. It's a surprising shift considering how harshly he once criticized Jake Paul. Crawford used to insist that Jake had no business sharing the ring with real boxers, a YouTuber stepping into the sport, earning millions, and calling out fighters who spent years building their craft never sat well with him. Back then, Crawford dismissed Jake Paul as more of a spectacle than a contender, someone turning boxing into show business rather than a test of skill and discipline. He was among the loudest voices defending the purity of the sport, reminding everyone that true boxing requires patience, sacrifice, and years of hard lessons.
Can punch with that right hand. Like, I seen him, you know what I mean, up close in person. Like, dude is big. He's not as slow as people think he is, and he can punch. You know, that's why a lot of people know, like, there was times where, you know, him and Tyson was in a...
But now, Crawford's completely walked back his old stance. His tone has shifted, and there's a new level of respect in his words. During an appearance on Logan Paul's podcast, Crawford openly admitted he had misjudged Jake. He said, "Yeah, he's boxing." Crawford explained that at first he was totally against the whole idea. He thought Jake and Logan were just cashing in on their online fame, stepping into boxing, making millions, while lifelong fighters struggled to earn even a fraction of that. To him, it felt disrespectful to the sport, and to every boxer who'd put in the years of blood, sweat, and sacrifice. That's a big turnaround from a man who once claimed Jake Paul was everything wrong with modern boxing.
Because check this out, Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, this gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happened when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens, you know?
Crawford says his shift in perspective came after actually watching Jake Paul put in the work. He realized Jake wasn't moving like a social media star anymore. He was training like a real boxer. Crawford admitted, "After watching him and seeing the focus he's putting into the sport, I was like, this dude is actually getting better." And coming from Crawford, that's no small compliment. He's known for being a perfectionist, undefeated, precise, and brutally honest about boxing. So for him to say he's genuinely impressed by Jake Paul shows something's changed. He's not calling Jake a top-tier fighter yet, but he's acknowledging that the dedication is real.
Happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, "Oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting." No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN.
Crawford saw it firsthand when he attended Jake Paul's fight against Ryan Borland in Puerto Rico. Jake ended the night with a clean knockout, and Crawford, who happened to be there for a convention, couldn't help but take notice. He later said, "I was sitting there thinking, this dude can really punch with that right hand." That moment changed something. Sure, Jake wasn't facing a top-tier opponent, but Crawford understood these are the same kind of stepping stones every fighter takes on the way up.
Out of like the influencer world would be the most lucrative thing for my career, and I think I was the only one who like actually wanted to do it. And actually wanted to go all the way. And that's why I set the goal for myself early to become a world champion, set the bar extremely high. And
Crawford admitted that he's come to see Jake Paul differently now. He realizes Jake isn't trying to cut corners or jump straight to fighting names like Usyk or Canelo. Instead, he's taking the right steps, facing opponents that match his experience level and getting better with each fight. People keep saying Jake should fight Usyk, Crawford said, but that's not how boxing works. You have to climb the ladder. Watching him live gave Crawford a new level of respect, something he never expected. For a man who once dismissed Jake entirely, that's a big shift. Now he's not just recognizing Jake's growth, he's actually open to stepping into the ring with him. And with Gervonta Davis's fight status uncertain, that matchup suddenly looks more realistic than ever.
Napping, all sorts of crazy stuff, guys. If this is true, I just talk about just fumbling the bag. One of the biggest financial opportunities of his career, and he's about to ruin it. It's being reported that Jake's team is offering Ryan Garcia as a replacement for a...
When Crawford first heard about Jake Paul facing Gervonta "Tank" Davis, he called it crazy. And honestly, he had a point. The size gap is enormous. Jake walks around close to 200 pounds at cruiserweight, while Tank competes at just 135. That's not a small difference. That's an entire weight class jump. But Jake wasn't intimidated. In an interview with Netflix, when asked about Crawford's crazy remark, he simply agreed. Yeah, it's crazy. Then he added, but it's also what makes it special. You've got two of America's biggest boxing names meeting in the middle. It's a 50-50 fight. His speed and experience against my size and power. Nobody knows how it ends, and that's what makes it exciting. Interview 7 classic Jake Paul, calm, confident, and always ready to sell the moment. But then came the question that really shook things up. Would he fight Terence Crawford? Jake didn't even blink. I'd fight Crawford 100%. Let's make it happen. No one saw that coming. Crawford is 42-0, one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of his era. Technically brilliant, ruthless, and battle-tested. But he's also entering the later stages of his career, while Jake's still young, powerful, and naturally much bigger. From a business and spotlight perspective, that matchup makes all the sense in the world.
See this footage? Look at Tank. Now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways. When you look at him sideways and see the depth. See, from the front view, you can't really tell. But when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby.
From a legacy angle, it's a crazy idea, and that's exactly what makes it so intriguing. Maybe that's why both men seem open to it. Jake even revealed that a fight with Canelo Alvarez was almost finalized before the Mexican superstar backed out and signed a major deal with Saudi boxing. Chief Turki Al-Sheikh, I still think a fight between Canelo and me would be huge, Jake said. We're two of the biggest attractions in boxing, and it'd be an incredible challenge for me. But right now, my focus is locked on November 14th and getting past Tank first.
Really got knocked out. Yeah, really got knocked out. Watch the fight, you idiot. Went 12 rounds. Like, you're weird, bro. Bro didn't even knock me out or even throw punches. That's sad, bro. Just know, bro, I'm coming back. It's gonna be vicious. Like, you guys don't want to see that. You guys are weird, trying to troll me over a fight I didn't even care about.
Now that the Tank fight might be off the table, the question is, who's next? Terence Crawford seems like the perfect fit. He brings credibility, legacy, and elite skill, while Jake Paul delivers the audience, the buzz, and the business. Put them together, and it's a blockbuster waiting to happen. What's fascinating is how fast the landscape in boxing changes when money, timing, and opportunity all line up just right.
He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox.
A year ago, Crawford wouldn't even mention Jake Paul when talking about real boxing. But now he's saying, if everything lines up, I'd take that fight. It's no longer far-fetched. It's business. And honestly, it makes sense. Crawford has conquered everything. Undisputed in 2 divisions, undefeated record, pound-for-pound recognition. There aren't many challenges left that bring excitement and a massive payday. A fight with Jake Paul would do both. It's not about proving himself anymore. It's about capitalizing on legacy while the spotlight still burns bright.